How's it going, folks? You're very welcome to today's geography lesson, where we are going to look at the positives and negatives of peat exploitation. Okay, so the good things about harvesting peat and the bad things about harvesting peat. Okay, the main company in Ireland that's responsible for harvesting peat is this company here, Bord na Móna. Okay, and Bord na Móna, the first positive, okay, is Bord na Móna are a very eco-friendly company, and they're planning to preserve over 20,000 hectares of raised bogs in Ireland. So what they're going to do is try and preserve these bogs, okay, when they're finished using them. Why do they want to preserve bogs? Well, bogs contain habitats to various plants and wildlife, so they're very, very important ecosystems for a lot of things, okay, so it's important to look after them, and Bord na Móna, the company in Ireland, have pledged to do so. Okay. Second point here, cutaway bogs. So a cutaway bog, guys, is a bog that's already been used up. It's a bog where the peat has already been harvested out of, okay? And Bord na Móna have planned on, when they finish up using a bog, they're going to plant coniferous trees in that bog, okay? Why plant coniferous trees? Because trees can then be grown, cut down, and used for, timber, or used, for firewood and other sources of fuel. Okay, so it's the idea that, okay, we've harvested all the peat, but these bogs are still useful. Okay, now, the third benefit or positive of peat exploitation is that peat is very useful, and peat is used to generate electricity in ESB power stations. So the top right there, guys, in the picture, that's an ESB power station, and peat is put into these mills and burnt, and it's used basically to generate electricity. So some of the electricity you use in your home comes from the burning of peat. Okay, our fourth positive is that sod peat and peat briquettes are sold for home heating. So if you look to the bottom right there, guys, you'll see a bale of peat briquettes. That's probably recognizable to a lot of people. You might see them, your parents using them at home during the winter, okay? And they are used to light fires and to fuel fires. And that's kind of the main way peat gets used in Ireland, okay? It gets made into those peat briquettes, and it's sent around, sold in shops, obviously, and then people use this for fires, etc. Okay. Another positive, okay, moss peat and potting compost are moss peat and potting compost are sold for use in horticulture. So moss peat, guys, is an ingredient that's used in compost, okay, and this is used for growing plants. So that's another kind of like a knockoff positive effect of milling peat, okay. Top right there, guys, another positive, modern machinery has helped to speed up the rate at which peat is extracted. Okay, so maybe in your grandparents' time, peat was extracted by fellas out on a bog, men and women out on bogs digging up the peat or cutting it, okay, whereas now it's done by tractors and modern farm machinery. So it's way more efficient, it's done way faster, and as a result it's more peat can be harvested. Why is this good? Well, if you have more peat harvested, this means you can generate more electricity. Okay, the extracting of peat has created jobs and earned income for the country. So, guys, it's a big industry, peat extraction. So see the bottom right there, all the people in the factory there. The peat, so it's created lots of jobs in terms of extracting the peat. So if you look at the top right there, so guys who are operating machinery, it's created lots of jobs when it comes to factories. So people are employed working in factories, and it's created a lot of jobs then when it comes to, say, knockoff industries like in horticulture. Okay, and why these jobs are particularly important is, guys, if we recap, where is most peat in Ireland? It's in the Midlands and it's in the west of Ireland. Okay, and in the Midlands and the west of Ireland, there's not many jobs. Okay, so as a result, Bord na Móna and peat exploitation is a key very important industry in these areas. So it's reduced rural emigration. It's reduced people moving away from these rural areas in the Midlands and the West. Okay, so that's another big positive. All right, that peat exploitation, and in particular Bord na Móna, employ lots and lots of people. Okay, now if we go and look at some of the negative impacts of peat exploitation, we know that peat is not a renewable resource, and if we keep exploiting it, not only will we use up all the peat, but we will damage habitats. And some people don't care about this. Some people want to continue to exploit peat, and that's a big bad point or a negative. Okay, peat exploitation, guys. Burning peat is not good for the environment. So if we look at the top right picture there, okay, when you're burning peat, like it's a fossil fuel, it's a non-renewable fuel, and it's not good for the environment. It can damage the environment and lead to something like acid rain. Okay, Third negative, peat is less efficient than coal or fuel. So it's relatively more expensive to generate electricity with. And what that means, guys, is if you had the same amount of oil, the same amount of coal, and the same amount of peat, the peat would be the least efficient out of all three of those. Okay, the peat would generate the least amount of electricity. So it's not efficient, and as a result, it's a bit more expensive. Okay. Board and Mona must find ways to replace the lost income when it stops using peat energy in 2030. So guys, Board and Mona have pledged to stop using peat and cutting bogs by the year 2030, so 10 years from now. But the problem with Board and Mona is Board and Mona is a very big company, and for Board and Mona to make any money, they must come up with a new way of producing electricity. So like 80% of the money Board and Mona makes comes from burning peat. So Board and Mona, if they're really going to stop burning peat and harvesting peat by 2030, they must come up with a new way of making money by then, a new way of generating electricity. Okay. Final negative is cutaway bogs are a level, well-drained surface, but with little residential development in the area. Okay, so guys, basically what that means is cutaway bogs, they're well-drained and they're level, but they're still not able to support residential development. So, you're not going to be able to build houses on a bog. Okay. The picture on the right there, guys, is an example in Donegal of where people tried to build houses on bogs, and you notice the ground has kind of sunk away from the entrance into the house there. Okay, so that's a result of the bog is it's a boggy kind of land, and even though it's well drained, a big heavy house is over the years going to sink down into it. Okay, so as a result, you can see there what's happened to that house. Okay, so that's the problem. A lot of these areas, they cannot be used for construction work, areas where there used to be bogs. Okay, folks, thank you very much for watching.